My name is Sarah Halstead, and I am a laughter lover. Those of you who might have joined me before know that I like to laugh, I like to smile, I like to share positive things with people. I'm a mom of two adult kids, and I'm a lifelong learner. And it's one of those things that I think you learn all along life's path. And as I learn things, it's really nice to be able to share those with other people. And in addition to those two things, I'm also an abundance attractor. So that kind of rounds things out. I've learned a lot very recently from a couple of wonderful mentors that I'm working with. Big shout out to Robert Hollis and to Bill Ebert. But it's helped me to really attract some wonderful things into my life. And you can certainly be an abundance attractor too. But we'll talk about that on another one of my periscopes. Tonight, I wanted to talk about kind of an interesting thing. We tend to prejudge. We tend to think we know somebody. And I've shared a little bit about my story in the past, but I thought I would share some things that maybe you don't know. And I bet there's some very interesting things about each one of you that people would be surprised to know too. So just as an example, I thought I would share with you a few things that sometimes surprise people when they think they know me and they don't really realize that these things have been a part of my life. So let me start with one. We once did an icebreaker with a group that I was working with, and we did a fancy little bingo game where we had to try to figure out who was the person that the clue was describing. And this was my clue. I once pushed my sister into an open grave. Now, I know that sounds really mean, but let me tell the story. My sister and I were both preacher's kids. My father's a minister, and so we always grew up next to the church, usually in small towns, in rural areas. And when there was a death, when there was a funeral coming up, some of the men from the church would often go to the cemetery, which was very near to our home, and would dig the grave for the funeral. And so we knew the people, and that was kind of fun. And it was our playground. Actually, we kind of, spend a lot of time walking through the graveyard and all of this. But one day when they were digging a grave, and they wasn't too deep or anything yet, I was feeling a little mischievous, and I actually pushed my sister in. So there was someone there to catch her and help her right back up. But yes, I do have a little devilish side to me, so that might surprise you. Here's another thing that might surprise you. I was once part of a musical group that performed for over 80,000 people on a weekly basis. Want to guess what that was? When I was in college, I was in the University of Wisconsin marching band, and we would perform during the football games to a large crowd. Now I think it's even larger as they've added more seats to the stadium, but that was a fantastic experience. So I've just shared two things, but let me ask, what are some of the things that might surprise others about you? Go ahead and type in one or two of those things that people would be shocked if they only knew that little secret about yourself. It's sort of fun to be able to share a few of those things. Sometimes people are surprised to learn that I am 50 years old. I've been told before that I look a little younger than that, and I guess I should be grateful for that. I've got two adult kids who are in their mid-20s, and I turned 50 this last year. So I'm enjoying this part of my life, and it's been really fun to, trick people when they think how old I might be. Let's see. It's going to take too long. Okay. So let me just share maybe one more thing on here. I've celebrated a lot of Easters. As I mentioned, my family was a preacher's family, so I spent a lot of Easters together with my family. But one year, I got to spend Easter in a different place away from my family, and I was in Australia. That was a fantastic place to be. I was there with a leadership group, and I had the opportunity to extend my stay a little bit, and I learned a lot about the culture, something I've enjoyed a lot along the way. Travel has always been something I've enjoyed, and it's taken me to Europe, to Australia, different places, and I've been blessed to be able to do that. Well, those are just a few of the little secrets that people might not know when they get to know me. But I know that many of you also have secrets. Many of you are also very, very interesting and complex people that those who meet you on the street may never even guess. And it's very important for us to know that we shouldn't prejudge somebody. We shouldn't make our assumptions about a person cloud the way that we think about them. If you're in a business, for example, you may be trying to find somebody that would like to be in the business with you, or who would perhaps buy some of the things that you're selling. Don't prejudge them. Don't know. You're never going to know exactly what's going on in their head or what their past experience is. They might have a heck of a sense of humor. Not many people I know would push their sister into a grave and laugh about it. And by the way, she was fine. We all had a great time. But, people just don't expect certain things of you. And we're really complex and wonderful people. So I know that there are fantastic things that make each one of you extra special. And it would be wonderful to get to know each of you and to know some of those special things and what they are. Once I tried to teach myself how to speak another language, and the language that I wanted to learn was a little obscure for me anyway. I wanted to learn how to speak Croatian. And one of the very first things that I did, I loved listening to music and hearing some of the lyrics and then trying to pick out different words as I was learning them in the other language. And one of the first songs that I remember having translated to learn was called Tko sam ja da ti sudim? Who am I to judge you? And boy, I thought that was pretty important. It was a great message, and I learned a lot from that. So I kind of leave you with that message for tonight. Who are we to judge other people? Keep an open mind. Know that they're very, very interesting, very wonderful, complex people. And the more we learn about them, the more wonderful they can be. Thank you to all of you. I appreciate your jumping on. I really appreciate all the hearts and the kind comments. It's wonderful to be able to spend some time with you each night, and hope you enjoyed this little bit of a topic. And have a great night, everybody. We will see you again another time. Take care.